Super Rugby top of the table clash, folks. Chiefs and Crusaders down in Christchurch, first against second, and it's the Chiefs with a massive second half shift who get the game won. 35 points to 19, 25 unanswered points in the second half. Crusaders don't score a single point in the second. Geez, they had to do a lot of defending in this game, the Crusaders. 200 plus tackles is a monstrous shift, but they could not stop the Chiefs from piling on a bunch of tries and a few of D-Mac's penalties kicked as well. But yeah, really good crowd, good atmosphere, as it should be for a top-of-the-table clash. Two really solid defensive sides. Some nice kicking, like Sean Stevenson, big old boot, 50-22s and whatnot. It was, I thought it was just a really entertaining game. Didn't have anything on the line for my Blues. None of these sides are contesting that sixth spot for my Blues because these are the top of the table sides. So I was just able to sit back and enjoy the game, and I honestly think it was pretty good value. I think that's the kind of game you could show someone who doesn't really like rugby and they might be sold on it. Who knows? They're like a bit cowbell. They'll be certainly enjoying it. But yeah, Crusaders survived early. They did what they do. They survived the early pressure. They tackle and tackle. Fihaki, when they do get the ball, kicks a 50-22. And the Crusaders score not long from it. Christie, the loose forward, with the diving finish over in the corner, was proper theatre. 7 points to 0 for the Crusaders. Like I said, they just defended, and then when they do get a chance, they bloody smash it. Chiefs were bossing all the possession, but the Crusaders just kept holding on and clearing the ball away. Will Jordan had an early kick, but it didn't look comfortable for him, and he went off before the 20-minute mark, which was unfortunate because it meant they had to rejig the back line a bit, and he's always going to be a big loss. But yeah, he was not looking comfortable, so we'll see what kind of long-term prognosis that is for him. For hopefully not too much. But yeah, he didn't look very comfortable when he was coming off, but he was able to go off under his own steam. D-Mac, interestingly, at one point, and it kind of, again, a testament to the Crusaders' defence, from his own half, eyed up Cullen Grace in front of him and thought, geez, I can get, this guy's a single-digit number on his back. I can certainly get round him with my gas. But no, he couldn't. Grace just bloody lumbered after him and dragged him down, and the Chiefs ended up in touch. And I think the Crusaders are up for this. I think I picked the Crusaders in the old tipping comp. I was pretty confident once that moment happened that this was going to be the Crusaders' night. And I think I was probably justified in my thinking because the Crusaders scored next. Second try to the Crusaders. I mean, both sides were winning penalties at the breakdown. It was a great contest in terms of the breakdown. If you love watching turnovers and seeing penalties won at the breakdown, this was a proper clash. Like David Pocock would have watched this game with kind of interest. But yeah, second try. When the Chiefs fail to win a penalty at the breakdown, fail to win a turnover, they get pinged and the advantage goes to the Crusaders. Scotty Barrett is able to charge over from close range, and that makes it a 12 points to 0 lead to the Crusaders. So like I said, I was feeling my pick is correct. However, they did concede some silly penalties, the Crusaders, and it became a theme for the game, actually. Penalty count against them is pretty high. Obstruction from the restart. Marched 10 metres as well because Leo Willie just marched off with the ball, didn't give it to the Chiefs guys to allow them to go quickly, which meant D-Mac was able to slot 3 points pretty much straight out in front. So your 5-point try that you got is just, now it's a 2-pointer because you just gave a freebie 3 points to the Chiefs. And I feel like that stops a bit of the momentum, although, again, the Crusaders scored next. They replied to the 3-pointer with another try, Shalfoon, because the Crusaders were not opting for threes. Shalfoon, after they go for a maul, but then they pop it quickly right, and then Shalfoon is able again to kind of barge over from close range, 19 points to 3. That's looking pretty emphatic. You're at home, you got the big crowd behind you, you got a multi-score lead, you're the only side to score a try, the only 3 points the opposition has got has just been kind of a self-inflicted wound. But end of the first half, clock in the red, the Chiefs did manage to take some, try time. They got I don't want to say first blood, but first blood in terms of tries, when Narawa was just able to ground a Stevenson pass after they kind of spun it to the back line from a line-out move, wasn't it? They flicked it right. Stevenson looked like he probably could have gone over himself, but he chucked it Reese almost intercepted it but couldn't quite gather it, and then Nada was able to pounce on it and force it down. So that makes it 19 points to 10, which is a lot healthier look for the Chiefs going into the sheds, especially seeing as they've had 63% possession. But the turnovers conceded is 10-5, so the Chiefs have been coughing up too much ball. Both sides' tackle percentages is in the 90s in the first half, but the Crusaders have made close to double at 114 to the Chiefs' 60. Then the Chiefs really go to town. There's no more scoring from the Crusaders. D-Mac gets the second try for the Chiefs, and it's a kind of bang-bang first half end, second half start. Real momentum shifter for the Chiefs, and it starts from Stevenson's 50-22. That guy's boot was getting some serious meters in this one. Parker with the big carry from the line-out move goes close, and then they snap it left. D-Mac goes through a pretty sweet gap. It's a well-worked try. 19 points to 15, and then Carter gets one. It's kind of a bang-bang quick-fire double, and it's from Crusaders attack. It's almost the reverse of what the Crusaders have been doing to teams this year. Havili puts in a little dinking kick through. It's probably, trying to find a bit of space behind the rushing Chiefs defense, but Rampling is able to get his mitts on it, pounce on it, get it to Carter, who puts the hammer down, goes length of the field, quick fire double, first and only lead change of the game, 22 points to 19. And then the Crusaders, I guess, find that it's kind of harder to chase a lead when you're having to do all the tackling. Like when you can hit teams on the break and get that lead and make them chase it, you can force errors, and you can keep hitting them on the kind of counter, but they couldn't get enough ball to really chase the lead. Stevenson's boot was keeping them, and D-Max was keeping them back, down their own end of the field. D-Max slotted a penalty on 57 to extend the lead. 15 unanswered points at that point in the second half. Chiefs probably had a chance to punish multiple Crusaders penalties conceded, but I thought they were leaving the door a little bit open when D-Mac missed touch, but it didn't matter because they got another penalty at the breakdown not long later. He slotted that to make it 28 points to 19, two-score game. Then the Chiefs put the nail in the coffin, 18 phases, tight phases, not spinning it that wide. And then finally, Satiti powers over from close range. That is the game, 19 points. Crusaders, 35 points to the Chiefs. What a second half. Like, big performances from the bench. Taukiaho was massive from the bench for the Chiefs. They really had some very, very good impact in that regard. Turnovers won 8-6. 8 by the Chiefs, and that's a lot in the game. That's what I'm talking about. The breakdown battle was probably worth the price of admission if you like seeing some turnovers and whatnot. Chiefs dominated possession and territory, 56% territory, 55% possession. And the Crusaders had to make 218 tackles, which they did at 93%, which is class. But they still conceded 4 tries and too many penalties. Penalty count was 12-6. 131 tackles at 87% for the Chiefs is also not too bad. Like, anytime you're above 85, you're getting into the good territory. But I mean, so many tackles for the Crusaders. Harvey made 20. Leo Willie made 18. Scotty Barrett made 17. Jacobson was the top Chief with 16. Tupaya, 2 turnovers, 1. Narawa, 2 turnovers, 1. Taukiaho, 2 dominant tackles. McAllister, 3 dominant tackles. Big old defensive shifts, as I mentioned, which is not really what Super Rugby gets known for, but case in point, this is a good example of it. Crusaders are away to the Waratahs next as they look to bounce back, and the Chiefs can rest up any battered bodies with the bye. So we'll see how things go. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. I found it to be a pretty quality affair, but you guys let us know your thoughts, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.